So the question is, how do you learn to truly accept yourself for who you are? And is it even important to do that? I find a better question is for us to find out, do you know who you really are? So let me ask you, being honest with yourself, what kind of person do you think you are?
I think I am a 28-year-old white male who is from the United States.
Okay, so I'll stop you right there.
Right.
And that's great that you gave me a nationality and your birth certificate and all those things that are really important. None of those things define you. I have met people from Africa that have a set background that they've gone up. I lived in Africa for 3 years, but you couldn't define them as being a typical person from Africa.
Right.
Likewise, I've met people from Germany that you couldn't define as a typical German. So I'm going to argue that you are not defined by the fact that you are a 21-year-old white male from America. Now let me ask you, who are you? Who is the real you?
What kind of a question is that?
I'll make it simple. In your core, do you describe yourself as a positive person, or do you describe yourself as a negative person?
Honestly, probably negative.
Okay, that's good. This is like, we'll get to meet the real you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a negative person. Are you negative about others or about yourself?
About myself, mostly.
Are you negative about others at all?
I think the negativity about myself bleeds into other people.
Okay, so the negativity about yourself bleeds into other people, but
Yeah.
like, are you down about other people around you? Do you try to put them down, make them feel bad?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you're negative about yourself, so it's self-deprecating.
Right, yeah.
Okay, let's ask you, what are your beliefs? Do you believe in helping others or hurting others?
Helping others.
Okay, do you believe you're a good person?
I think I try to be a good person.
Okay, I think that's all anyone can truly try.
Right.
Let's ask yourself, do you want to be successful in life?
Yes.
Okay, are you ambitious?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, and we've spoken about that, so that's something you want to do. So you're somebody who is negative about yourself, but kind, caring, looks after others, is ambitious in life and wants to go somewhere.
I know, it doesn't make any sense, man.
What are your reasons for being negative about yourself?
I think a lot of it just has to do with the way I've been treated in a lot of ways. The way I set myself up for expectations that I don't exactly meet. I think I have a very, very hard time looking at myself in the mirror and seeing this is the person that I want to be and being okay with where I'm at, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I don't think you have to be okay with where you're at in order to use that to drive you. We spoke about acceptance earlier. I think it's absolutely okay to accept where you are and be realistic about it and still have goals. In fact, one of the things I talk about is both negativity and positivity are dangerous. You don't want to be a pessimist and you don't want to be an optimist. If you're an optimist, you'll always set yourself up for failure and you'll stop reaching.
Right.
If you're a pessimist, you'll never do anything and you'll never reach. A realist is so much better. Know where you truly are, know the exact steps you have to do to get somewhere. But you mentioned something, and we'll talk about this, about the negativity in your mind. You said that you've been treated unfairly in the past. Give me an example.
Well, I've definitely, sorry.
That's okay.
I've definitely been hurt by a lot of people in the past. I think there's a large section of it that is my own fault, and I think I take a lot of responsibility for it in a lot of ways. But I mean, failed relationships with girls, failed relationships with friends, a lot of human connections that did not go as well as I hoped, essentially.
So one of the hardest parts about being a human being is that in school, we're told we're going to be given education.
Right.
Our families, our parents, they're giving you education that's supposed to help you, that actually doesn't help you, it doesn't serve you, because they never bothered getting the education they needed to have these human interactions. At this point, you have to decide whether you're going to push your own education to get the skill set to take you where you want to go. You have had negative situations and bad things happen to you. And in psychology, we would say that those negative voices are actually what's going on in your head. I have a book called Brain Hacking on Amazon where I talk about how to kill the negative voice. And the negative voices, most of the time that we hear, are the repeated words of people that have said bad things to us in the past. Be honest. Be really honest. The relationships that have failed, the things that have gone wrong, was it your fault completely, or was it other people's as well?
I think completely honestly, I think the majority of the blame is my fault.
Okay. Would you be comfortable sharing one of those situations?
Um,
You don't have to give details, but
okay. Well, I guess one of the most prominent ones I can think of would be in my own self-deprecating state, maybe, I don't know, kind of saying things to someone that I definitely shouldn't have, and essentially severing the relationship, and having that kind of go around and have that kind of follow me, that whatever I did, basically, whatever I said to the person, in order to completely just destroy the entire relationship. Yeah, I mean.
that's fine.
Yeah.
So there's a very common scenario here that you're describing, which is the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right, yeah.
It's where you're concerned that something bad's going to happen, so you push it and you say the thing to prove that it works, and then you succeed in damaging the relationship, and afterwards you're left being proven that you can cause enough damage to ruin the relationship in the first place, and then you end up in the scenario that you created.
Right.
And this is the danger about pessimism and negativity, which is if you test a relationship, you will almost always find that it fails.
Okay.
And this is something that I say to people even in their dating life. They'll be like, I just want to test to see if my partner would cheat. And it's like, yeah, that's going to fail. That test is always going to go bad.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. The whole point about a relationship, I was talking about this earlier, is you are on a journey in life. And some people are there to travel that journey with you for short periods of time, and some people are there to travel long periods of time. You've made mistakes in your past relationships, and that's all true, and you've messed up friendships, you've done everything wrong, but like, I don't know any of those people. I don't know any of that situation. Your relationship with me is completely fresh. From this point on our path that we walk together, you're in control of how you create it. You absolutely have the power to push me away from your journey and to walk on your journey on your own. You also have it in your power to do everything you can to ensure that you and I continue on that road with you for as long as possible, and with everyone that you meet. For me, just like you, I've had situations where I've said things that I regret. I've lost people in my life because I've said something that I probably shouldn't have said. And if I could go back in time, would I say it again? Who knows? I might not. But the point is, I've learned enough about life to realize that ultimately, if you want to get the success that you want, then you can't be pushing people away. And instead, you've got to learn from the mistakes that you've had before and bite the tongue and, take it easy. But you've got to accept that what you did happened. And this is that true acceptance, and own the fact that you made mistakes so you can learn from them. Because now it's time for you to move on beyond that and to say, okay, this is who I was, but this is not who I will be going forwards. And choose to be that different person that gets much better reactions and has a better life. And you'll find that when you can truly accept that, that's when you're going to find these real connections with people. So let me ask you this. You speak a lot of negativity about yourself. You said there's a lot of negative things.
Right.
If you could make a list today of 3 things that you would change about yourself, what would they be?
I guess I would say my consistency in my dating life.
So I would
Maybe.
argue
I don't know.
that that's a reaction from somebody else.
Right.
What would you say are 3 things about you that you wish you could change? That you have full control over?
Full control over. Okay. I would guess I would say taking better care of myself.
Okay.
I would say being less hard on myself.
Okay.
And I would say, man, 3 is hard. I don't know.
Well, I love this, right? This
Yeah.
is someone standing opposite me that says I'm really negative about myself, and you can only think of 2 things that you'd like to change. I mean, that's a win as far as I'm concerned, right? Like, how bad can it be if there's only 2 things?
Right.
Which is nothing wrong with that. Both those 2 things are easy fixes.
Right.
So taking better care of yourself is probably going to take less than 45 minutes a day. If you think of the full 24 hours in the day, and you can spend less than 1 hour and achieve that goal, do you currently have a morning routine?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat. Is it like a real taking care of yourself grooming routine?
No.
Right. So I would start by that. A really good buddy of mine, Hal Elrod, wrote a book called The Miracle Morning. And that's all about developing a routine that achieves the most complicated and important things in your life first. So for you, if you're looking to develop a morning routine where you look after yourself and take better care of yourself, start like that.
Okay.
One of my friends used to say this. he was really worried about his weight. He was constantly gaining weight. And so he decided that he would have a diet only in the morning and in the evenings. So he'd be like, the middle of the day, he's like, I'm gonna not have a diet. But I will have a diet in the morning when my willpower is the strongest.
Right.
And I will have a diet in the evening as well. By choosing to have a diet for only a certain period of the day, it allowed him to move ahead, but still look after himself. So even though he was going by day and giving in to his cravings or what have you, he still fought it off. So if you start in the morning and set yourself up for success by doing a 45-minute grooming routine that looks after yourself in whatever way it is, whether it's exercise or whether it's diet or whether it's brushing your teeth, I don't know, whatever it is you feel you need to do better at, doing that in the morning is what's going to make sure that you move there. And then the second thing that you had was not being hard on yourself.
Right.
Do you have an affirmation routine?
Not consistently, no.
So one of the best tips that I ever heard, it was from a book called You Are a Badass, it's totally worth reading, where you take Post-it notes and you're going to write the messages you need to hear at different points in your house based on where they are.
Okay.
So if when you look in the mirror, you're negative about your looks, you're going to write on a Post-it note, you are attractive. And you're going to slap it up on the mirror exactly where you'd look. And if when you go to the fridge and you grab a soda and that makes you feel bad about yourself, you're going to put a Post-it note in there that says you deserve at least one soda a day.
Okay.
Right?
Got
So
it.
you're going to write messages to yourself to correct the things that you need to hear. One of my favorite ones is you can put it on the door as you go out the door. And on the door, it's like, you can achieve anything if you just put in enough hard work.
Right.
And so you're going to give yourself these positive affirmations about everything that you do in your life, and you'll find that your home becomes an incredible place and a refuge from the negativity in your mind, as everything you look just tells you wonderful things.
Okay.
How does that sound?
It sounds fantastic.
Cool. Is this something you can commit to?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Hell yeah. All right, I love it. Thanks for
Cool.
coming. Appreciate you.